Hey guys, guess what time it is? It's time for a virtual field trip through my hometown that I live in, Augusta, the capital of Maine. So let's come with me and we'll find out what we can about the capital of Maine. See you there. Hey guys, I'm here in Augusta by the Kennebec River, where it's very cold this morning. But we're going to talk about Fort Western that's located here on the Kennebec River. So this area was first established in 1607 by English settlers, but before they were here, the Wabanaki people were here first. The Wabanaki name is also known for people of the dawn, and the explorers from England came here in 1607. They were French as well as English influences in the 17 to 1800s, and in 1646 a Jesuit priest, Gabriel, visited an English settlement named Kennebec and established his mission nearby the Kennebec River. It was the term Krishnuk first appeared in the Plymouth Trading Post. After years of conflict involving the French and Indian and English, several decades during the Kennebec settlement was deserted, and the Kennebec prospectors, successors to the Plymouth Company, erected Fort Western near this site, located beyond the falls of the head of the Kennebec River. It was built here because it was the depot between here and Fort Halifax, 17 miles upriver. Captain James Howard, who commanded the fort, stayed on for the first permanent settlers, and the fort's main building served as a residence and a store. The village called the Fort, the upriver part of the town, Hollowell, in 1771, which is the town over from Augusta. So why don't we take a look at this fort now? Here in the year 2021, it's still established and still standing upright. So here, let's take a look. Here we go. Here is the fort right next to the Kennebec River. The fort is now used for museum purposes, which is not open right now because it's the middle of winter. But in the summertime, you can come here to Fort Western and you can check out, and they'll give you a tour, and they will walk you through and tell you and show you all about the fort that James had, and the store that he turned it into, and the main port station that was used here. All right. Well, let's go to our next location. Are you ready? Set, go. Hey guys, we are at our next location, the State House that was built in 1832. The main State House in Augusta, Maine is at the state capitol. The building was completed in 1832, and 1 year after Augusta became the capital of Maine. Built using Maine granite, the State House was based on the design of the Massachusetts State House, because Maine was a part of Massachusetts before that. In 1820, they separated. When Maine separated from Massachusetts, it became the state in 1820. The number of cities and towns were picked to be the capital was Portland, Brunswick, Hollowell, Waterville, Belfast, Wissahickon, and Augusta. The original capital for Maine was Portland, but they moved it to Augusta in 1832 because it was a more centralized location. Now we're about about a football field away from the Kennebec River. You have to go through the state park, and on the other side of the state park is the Kennebec River. So you can still see Fort Weston from here and the post office, but it's just on the opposite side. All right, let's take a look at the State House. There you go. Let's take a little walk. This is the front of the State House. And then there's a state park across the street. Out there is the State House. I'll show you the stairway where it goes. Ooh. So the dome was put on and repaired later than the original building itself. So this is, you see this way? Maine State House, public entrance. It is closed to the public right now because it is the weekend, but normally you can come and take tours. All right, I'll see you at the next location in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. We're at a new location right across the Kennebec River from where we were at Fort Western. Now we're in front of the oldest post office in Augusta. It was established in 1886. The old post office was also a courthouse, and it's a historical formed federal government building at 295 West Water Street in Augusta. Built in 1886 through 1890, so it took several years for it to be built. And one of the Maine's finest surviving examples of this era of architecture. It was listed in the National Registry of Historic Places in 1974. The former post office and courthouse stands here on the east side of the Water Street. The Augusta principal commercial downtown area of Augusta. It was built by Mr. Bell. It was supervised architecture of the Treasurer Department. Bell's term ended in 1887, and his successor was William Alfred Furton, and finished his job in building in 1890. The cost of the construction was over $1 million. Oh, this is my paperwork, guys. The building was the largest, sometime during the 1897 to the mid-1912s. The building was used as a courthouse and post office to the 1960s. When the new large federal building was constructed on a different property, this property became a historical monument. All right, let's take a look at how big it is, guys. Look how big it is. It goes all the way up. All right, let me take you across the street so you guys can see how big it is from the other side of the street. It's a cute little park across the street. All right. It's so big I have to stand way back. All right. So here is the oldest post office and courthouse. And if you look on the other side of this, there, right in between those buildings, is the Kennebec River, right where we were, where Fort Weston is, right on the other side. All right, ready to go to our next location. And 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, we're at our next location here in Augusta, Maine. We are at the Governor Hill Mansion. So, Governor Hill Mansion was built in 1901. This house was designed by John Stevenson, Maine's highest profile architect of the period. It was built in 1901 for John F. Hill, who was the governor of Maine at that time. John John Hill was also a doctor and a lawyer before he became the governor of Maine. He also served in several other forms of government before he became the 45th governor of Maine in 1901 to 1905. He graduated from the Medical School of Maine in 1877 and went on to med school. In 1879, he became a member of the law firm of J.F. Hill in Augusta, Maine. So let's take a nice look at the Governor Hill mansion. Look at all the way up there. It's so big. So it goes all the way around. To the other side. Where there's another entrance. This is now used as office space and other meeting halls. You can have conferences here. So it has many different uses now. Alright, I'll see you at the next location. Hi everybody, we're back at our last location. It's not a building, but it's actually a statue of a famous person, famous child in Augusta. So, come closer. Alright. So, in 1982, a 10-year-old Samantha Smith wrote a letter to Jan Bova, the leader of the Soviet Union, asking, why do you want to go to war with the United States? Mr. Yanubova replied to the letter, an invitation to Samantha to visit, and her trip with her parents to the Soviet Union, beginning the personal dialogue between the people of the Soviet Union and the United States that many believe contributed to the thaw in the dangerous Cold War of the 1920s, of the 20th century, not the 1920s, 20th century, guys. Samantha ultimately died at the age of 13 in an airplane accident, but she was mourned by adults and children all over the world. Maine is proud of the native daughter, and we remember the message that was taught. One child can play a powerful part in bringing peace to the world. So you guys remember that. You can make a huge difference just as a child, just like Samantha Smith did. Let's take a look at the statue. She was only 13 years old, so not much older than you guys. Alright, I hope you guys liked your virtual tour of the capital of Maine, Augusta. Alright, I will see you guys maybe on another trip, maybe in a science experiment, but I will see you guys later. Bye!